What's up, YouTube? How's everything? I hope everyone is blessed and not stressed and having a wonderful day and a wonderful life. Life is not easy, but take each day one day at a time. Give God thanks for what you have and even what you don't have, because you may not know why God chose to not let you have certain things. Anyway, my topic for right now is just that I want to talk about financial responsibility in a marriage. And financial responsibility comes with accountability. It comes with accountability of what each person is doing with the finances that you have in a marriage. If one person is working and if one person is not, it doesn't mean that the person who is not working does not have a financial responsibility. Because you as the person who is working might give that person some financial responsibility. Alright, let's say in my marriage right now, my wife is a stay-at-home mom, and that's how I want it. I want her to be a stay-at-home mom because I want her to take care of our kids. I want her to be the first educator of our kids. You know, my wife is very smart. She has her degree. She was a lab tech. She dealt with blood and all that stuff. And she decided that she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean? She didn't want to work anymore. And we're going to get into that one day where, we talk about what women actually want. Women don't want to be out there working. And that's the truth of the matter. Some of them really know deep inside that they don't want to be out there working as hard and as long as a man does. They really want to be at home, taking care of the home and the children and stuff like that. And, I don't care what society says. This is what my wife wants. This is what my wife has expressed to me that she wants and that she finds joy in doing. Now, let's talk about financial responsibility, right? Now, I am the main breadwinner of our home. I'm the main provider of our home. And, which means I go out there, I do the work, I bring back the provisions, the money, whatever. It doesn't mean that my wife doesn't have financial responsibility or financial accountability to me, because my wife does kind of do side hustle that gives her a little bit of funds, but all that funds pulls together all the money that we have together, and we still have to hold ourselves financially accountable for what we are spending. Now, I have to look at what my wife spends, because at the end of the day, if we don't have any money, you understand, I'm the one who has to go out there, because I'm the one making the bulk of the money. I have to see where the money is missing at and say, okay, I need to make an extra, say, $200 to make sure that we're okay on this end. I have to make an extra $300 to make sure we're okay on that end. You know what I mean? So, when my wife, when we go out, my wife has a list. And we look over the list together, and I look at my wife and I say, we might not be able to get this because this might be a little bit more expensive. Let's get this next time. You understand? Now, I've watched some YouTube videos where women are talking about this is financial abuse. Yo, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up about financial abuse. What you women want to do is spend men's money without accountability and bring men to financial ruin. That is stupid. That is ridiculous. That's disastrous. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to just spend money without accountability? That don't make any sense at all. Do you think money just drop out of the sky? Whether the man is in a wealthy job or not, that don't give you the right to go and spend all the freaking money. Because there's no way of telling that in the future, all this money will always be present. And this is something I talked to my wife about in terms of rainy day funds. I'm a huge believer ever since I was young in rainy day funds. I always put a little bit aside, try to build that up so that one day if the tables turn and something happened and we out of a job for a while, I have some rainy day funds to fall back on. You know what I mean? Or if let's say an emergency happened and we need to buy something like right away and we don't have it, or we have it but we can't spend it, we go to the rainy day funds. You know, that happens sometimes. Like there are times where, you know, we wanna get certain things for the home that's very, very important. Like say, I want to buy a pipe to fix something in the house. I want to buy this, I want to buy that, and we have the funds, but we can't spend it on that because the funds is for something else. Let's say the funds is for our electricity, our rent, or you know, our utilities. You know what I mean? Our car insurance, or you know, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So I will look at my wife and I will say, hey, listen, we have to tap into the rainy day funds because this can't come out of like the straight bank account and stuff, because that money is already spoken for. You know what I mean? And if my wife wants something, there are times when, you know, my wife may want something or not. Yeah, she may want something like there's a particular dress that she's looking at and she would like to buy it and stuff like that. I'll look at my wife and say, well, you know, we can't get that right now, but let me put in a little bit of work. Let me get a little bit of extra hustle money, and then you can go get that dress like next week. You understand? Thankfully, my wife, she's at times very, very patient with me with that, where I say, yo, don't get it now, get it later. You know, because that dress is always going to be there. That dress is always going to be there, but you know, what if you know what you have is just like $300 in your bank account and you can't buy it and blah 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 blah, you know? But there's no, if a man really is holding you accountable for the things you spend in a relationship with a joint account, in a bank account that is both yours and his, that's not financial abuse. That is in no way financial abuse. And this whole thing of pushing and making men look like some sort of villain for holding a woman accountable for the money she spends in a relationship because that man doesn't want to be in financial ruin, that tells me like what's really happening in our society today, right? No man, like men are generally conservative when it comes to their money, right? Because they know for a fact that the tables can turn on them any day of the week. They can lose their jobs any day of the week. They might not like be making as much money as they used to make. So they might look at their wives and say, hey, listen, we can't, you know, we got to be careful of how we spend our money. We got to be careful of, you know, what we're buying. We got to be careful of this. We got to be careful of that. And that's how I run my household. My wife knows exactly what I mean with this. I basically tell her, say, yo, listen, certain things that you and I used to buy, we're going to have to hold off on that. Certain things that we used to do, we're going to have to hold off on that. Certain things that you may used to do before, you know, we got married, you're going to have to hold off on that. Because guess what? We don't always have the funds. And especially when you have a child, you have to put that child at the forefront. Like all that child's needs need to be met first before any desires or wants can be met. Because you want to say, hey, listen, we can't get this because our daughter needs this. We can't get that because our daughter needs that. We can't get this because the car needs this. We can't get that because the house needs this. So, you know, it's all about priorities. We can't like just spend carelessly. Money is limited. No matter what people want to think, even billionaires don't like think like that. They don't get up and buy everything because they know eventually, you know, the money can run out if you really do that, unless you have like a way of making 10 times what you spend in a second. Then everybody's always careful of how they spend. So me asking my wife, or me holding my wife accountable for what she spent is not financial abuse. You understand? It is keeping us from financial ruin. That's exactly what it's doing. And that's what I want to do for my life, for the life of my child, and for her life as well. Whether she likes it or not, that's what it is. And that's my 2 cents, people. Take care, and we'll talk again.